Ever pondered how the decisions of US presidents have left ripples across the globe? Well, today we're going to take a deep dive into the corridors of power and influence, shedding light on the dynamics of global politics and economics that are shaped to a significant extent by the leaders of the free world, the presidents of the United States. From the Oval Office, these leaders cast long shadows that stretch far beyond the borders of the United States. Their policies, decisions, and ideologies have a profound impact on the world at large, affecting everything from international relations to global economies, from wars and peace treaties to climate change and human rights. The global stage, in many ways, dances to the tune set by these influential figures. In the next few minutes, we're going to take a stroll down memory lane, revisiting the tenures of the last 5 American presidents. We'll delve into their unique styles of leadership, their key decisions, and the global repercussions of their actions. We'll look at how their presidency influenced the world, for better or worse, and how their legacies continue to shape the world we live in today. We'll be exploring the Clinton era with its economic prosperity and international diplomacy. Then we'll move on to the Bush administration and its war on terror that changed the face of the Middle East. We'll discuss Obama's legacy, marked by his efforts to build bridges and foster global cooperation. And finally, we'll delve into the recent presidencies of Trump and Biden, each with their distinct impacts on the world stage. Each presidency, with its own triumphs and trials, has left indelible marks on the canvas of world history, influencing the course of nations and the lives of billions. As we embark on this journey, remember that the legacy of these leaders is not just etched in history books, but it's also reflected in our everyday lives, in the world that surrounds us, and in the future that awaits us. So, buckle up as we embark on a journey through time, examining the global footprints left by the past 5 US presidents. First stop, the 90s, the era of Bill Clinton. Let's take a trip back to a time of economic prosperity, political intrigue, and the dawn of the digital age. Enter William Jefferson Clinton, the 42nd President of the United States, a charismatic leader known for his charm and political savvy. During Clinton's time in office, America witnessed significant economic growth. Unemployment was low, inflation was in check, and the economy boomed. A key contributor to this prosperity was Clinton's role in the North American Free Trade Agreement, or NAFTA. This agreement, signed by the United States, Canada, and Mexico, aimed to eliminate trade barriers and promote economic cooperation among these nations. It was a gamble, but one that seemed to pay off, at least in the short term. But Clinton's presidency wasn't all about economics. He also made substantial efforts towards peace in the Middle East. Despite the complexities and long-standing tensions in the region, Clinton made strides in fostering dialogue and encouraging compromise. Though a lasting peace remained elusive, his efforts were not without merit. However, Clinton's presidency was not without its controversies. Scandals rocked the White House, leading to his impeachment by the House of Representatives in 1998. Despite this, he remained in office, his popularity largely undiminished. It was a testament to the paradox of his presidency, a leader admired for his political acumen, yet scrutinized for his personal indiscretions. Clinton's presidency was also marked by his efforts to modernize the country, ushering in the digital age. He understood the potential of technology and the internet, investing in infrastructure and education to ensure America would not be left behind. In the end, Clinton's presidency was a mixed bag. On one hand, there was undeniable economic prosperity and progress in foreign relations. On the other, his tenure was marred by scandal and controversy. Indeed, the Clinton era was a time of economic boom, but also of political tumult. It was an era that left an indelible mark on the nation and the world, shaping the course of the United States in the new millennium. Next, we venture into the new millennium with George W. Bush. As the 43rd President of the United States, Bush's term was one of grand challenges and grave decisions whose ripple effects can still be felt today. Bush's presidency was dominated by 2 key events: the September 11th terrorist attacks and the Iraq War. In the aftermath of the devastating 9/11 attacks, Bush's response was swift and decisive. He launched the War on Terror, a global military, political, and legal campaign aimed to dismantle terrorist networks across the world. The decision was not without controversy, and its after effects are still being debated. The Iraq War, which began in 2003, was another defining moment of Bush's presidency. The administration's rationale for war was Iraq's alleged possession of weapons of mass destruction, which, as it turned out, were never found. The war led to the downfall of Saddam Hussein, but it also resulted in years of violent conflict and instability. The human and economic costs were staggering, and the war's legacy continues to shape international relations today. On the economic front, Bush's term ended with the Great Recession, the most severe economic downturn since the Great Depression. It served as an unfortunate bookend to his presidency, which had started on a high note with a period of growth. The recession was triggered by a housing market crash and a financial crisis that sent shockwaves through the global economy. Bush's response, which included a massive bailout for banks, was met with mixed reactions. While Bush was often criticized for his foreign and economic policies, it's important to remember that his presidency was shaped by extraordinary circumstances. He had to make tough decisions in a time of crisis, and his choices continue to influence global politics and economics. Bush's term was marked by war and economic hardship, a stark contrast to his predecessor. As we move forward in our journey through recent US presidential history, we'll see how the nation and the world continue to evolve under the stewardship of subsequent leaders. Moving forward, we reach the era of Barack Obama. With the weight of a nation on his shoulders, Obama stepped into the presidency in 2009, inheriting an economy in shambles. His presidency was marked by an unwavering commitment to diplomacy. One of his most noteworthy achievements was the thawing of relations with Cuba. After more than half a century of severed ties, Obama reopened diplomatic channels, marking a significant shift in policy toward the Caribbean nation. In a similar vein, Obama also made strides in improving relations with Iran. The landmark Iran nuclear deal, formerly known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, was a testament to the power of negotiation over confrontation. It was a deal that aimed to curb Iran's nuclear ambitions, demonstrating Obama's belief in the potential for peaceful resolutions. While international diplomacy was a hallmark of his tenure, Obama also made significant strides domestically. The Affordable Care Act, often referred to as Obamacare, was a significant achievement in healthcare reform. It extended health coverage to millions of uninsured Americans and prohibited insurance companies from denying coverage due to pre-existing conditions. Obama's presidency was also marked by the successful mission to neutralize Osama bin Laden, the mastermind behind the September 11th attacks. This operation marked a significant victory in the fight against global terrorism. On the economic front, Obama's presidency saw the country recover from the Great Recession. The economy stabilized and began to grow again under his watch, with unemployment rates dropping steadily. Obama's presidency was a time of significant change, both domestically and globally. He steered the nation through economic recovery, enacted major healthcare reform, and sought to build bridges where there had been walls. The echoes of his leadership continue to reverberate, shaping the course of the nation long after his departure from the Oval Office. Finally, we arrive at the recent past with Donald Trump and Joe Biden, a tale of two leaders, two visions, and two distinct directions for America on the world stage. Donald Trump, the 45th president, took office in 2017 with a clear mantra: America First. This policy marked a stark departure from the global cooperation espoused by his predecessors. His administration withdrew from various international agreements, notably the Paris Climate Accord and the Iran nuclear deal, asserting that these pacts were not in America's best interest. But perhaps the most defining moment of Trump's tenure was his response to the COVID-19 pandemic. The world watched as the virus swept across the globe, and Trump's approach, a mix of denial, defiance, and deregulation, made headlines. His handling of the pandemic stirred controversy, highlighting the deep divisions within American society. Then came Joe Biden, the 46th president, whose inauguration in 2021 signaled a return to international cooperation. He wasted no time in rejoining the Paris Climate Accord, underscoring his commitment to combating climate change, a stark contrast to his predecessor's stance. Biden's presidency has also seen renewed efforts to address racial inequality, a long-standing issue brought into sharp focus by the Black Lives Matter movement. His administration has made strides in this area, pushing for police reform and increased representation in government. The transition from Trump to Biden has been more than just a change of leadership. It's been a shift in policy, perspective and priorities. From Trump's isolationism and America First policy to Biden's focus on unity and global cooperation, the recent past has seen a dramatic shift in presidential policy. So what does this mean for the world? Well, as always, only time will truly tell. But one thing is certain: the actions of these two leaders will continue to reverberate, shaping not just America, but the world at large. From Trump's isolationism to Biden's focus on unity, the recent past has seen a dramatic shift in presidential policy. In conclusion, each US president has left a unique mark on the world. From Clinton's economic policies, through Bush's war on terror, to Obama's healthcare reforms, and finally Trump to Biden's response to global challenges, their actions have had far-reaching consequences. Their decisions have sparked wars, shaped economies, and influenced global health policies. Indeed, the actions of a US president reverberate far beyond the borders of the United States. Their decisions, for better or for worse, shape the world we live in.